Which generation do you belong to?
I belong to the 60s. I mean, I saw the Beatles performing when I was a teenager, and that's when I started to learn to play, and influenced. My music was influenced by actually probably the Rolling Stones, which directed me towards the American rhythm and blues people, and which I can remember that when I was a teenager, discovering the people like Muddy Waters and Chuck Berry and so on, and this just seemed to me so absolutely magic. This music, like nothing I'd heard, and that's what set me on my course, and then later on in the 70s, I somehow accidentally found myself playing this music for my living. I never intended to do it. It was, I mean, in 1970, I was a hippie in Kathmandu, and if you would have come up to me and said, you're going to be a rock and roll musician, I'd go, no, man, I don't do that anymore. I just, anyway, I accidentally got into it and found myself in the 70s really in Doctor Feelgood, and I was still following the kind of thing that had turned me on in the 60s and playing that in the 70s, and we were unusual in that when we started playing seriously in London, and we were doing that stuff, and it so happened that we had an influence. We had an influence. I think most of the punk bands were certainly influenced. They saw Doctor Feelgood in the London clubs, and I mean, I got to know all these people personally, all the Pistols and the Clash and so on, and they had all been Doctor Feelgood fans, and we influenced. So yes, we played our part in the whole 70s thing, and really that's what that's where I'm at.